Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. This week we're exploring the magnificent Bungle Bungles. Are you excited, Al?
I'm very excited for this one.
Oh, I'm really keen to go too. You can see by she's sweating, we've already started walking. Go and get yourself a cold drink, get your feet up next 20 minutes or so. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button on the way to the fridge. We'll see you back here in about 30 seconds time. Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Alison.
We decided a couple of years ago that we'd work hard and save all of our money and start living life on our own terms.
So we bought a caravan and hit the road on a trip for two all around Australia.
So why not come and join us every week for our adventures? So we just made the turn off now into the Bungle Bungles and we're going to head down the track here in a second. We just heard up the road that the track is shit house. So we're going to drop the tyre pressure down, just soften up the ride a little bit and just leave them down until we come back out in a couple of days' time.
Just currently airing down, and while we're airing down, I've come over to the info area and it gives you all the information about the park, things to know before you go in, exploring parts of the Kimberleys.
I tell you what, you always know it's going to be a good track when they go to the expense of putting in a proper sign to show you what's on. But here it is here. So it just says, what is there, 8 high creek crossings, drive slowly, and high clearance forward drives, of course, and expect washouts. And just talking to the guy that we spoke to at the roadhouse down the road, the name escapes me. I think it was Warham. I think it was Warham. We asked him because he'd just come from here, and he said that the first couple of kilometres in on this track is ridiculously corrugated. And when we were at the national parks yesterday getting our passes to come out here, the lady at the national parks told us that expect about a 2-hour drive to go from the turn-off where we are now down to the campground where we're heading to this afternoon. So hopefully it goes along all right, but I've dropped the tyre pressures down as we showed you, or we spoke about before. I've got 30 in the rear, 25 in the front, so if I need to drop a little bit more out of the rear later, I will, but if not, we'll just see how we go.
Roger.
Oh, Roger.
I'm not going to check the depth.
I can see the bottom.
No.
I better stick it in the 4-wheel drive. You never know, Yellow. All right, we're probably about halfway along the track into the Bungle Bungles at the moment. I've got to say it's not as bad as what we were told, but we're not saying that it's not going to get worse when we get down. But there are a couple of water crossings and we're just about hit one, aren't we, Al?
We are?
There's not much water in them at the moment because it's the dry season, obviously, but it's still a little bit of fun.
Stephen loves the water crossing.
Well, you get to wash out the bottom end of your car just so you can stick dirt on it again straight away, which is always a plus. All right, we'll continue on. We've got 24 k's to go, I think, till we get to the Ranger's hut. Now, something we never mentioned before, but we might as well talk about it now.
You want to cross the main, all the water was where the road was.
Exactly. We may as well talk about it now. If you're coming out here, you are coming into a national park, so the national park rules apply, don't they, Al?
They do, yes they do.
So no dogs, and you can't bring a dual axle caravan down here. That's why you won't see the van. You'll only see our tent. And it's the first time that we've camped, isn't it? Since we started our big lap.
It is actually. We thought we would have got away from the van well before this, but yeah, I don't know why we haven't, but this is our first opportunity to get out and camp.
I know why, because the van's very comfortable, more comfortable than the tent.
Well, that's true. We have enjoyed the van.
So to come out here, you do need your parks pass. Now, we bought the annual parks pass for WA. I used a concession. It cost me $80 for 12 months. There's a whole list of the concessions they accept online. I have a Queensland Seniors card, but I could have used my Veteran Affairs card, those sorts of things. But if you can't use a concession, it's still great value, $130 for the year, and it saves you all of the parks passes that you need to come into all of the national parks in WA.
Yes, I think we've heard from a few people who've travelled and done the parks in WA. They say you only have to really go into a few parks and you've basically had your money returned to you. So it tends to be the better value.
Yeah, and this one being our first one, this one was going to cost us $34 if we didn't have the parks pass. So you can see by the time we've done 3 parks, we've pretty much covered our parks pass for the year, haven't we?
We have.
So that's great value. The other thing is the camp fee when you come down. So the camp fee here at the Bungle Bungles is $15 per person per night. So $30 a night for a couple. They do have some family rates, but you can check online for those when you need to book. And just like all the WA camps, you just need to book sometime within that 180 days. For us, we were able to get a site here yesterday, but as some of you would definitely be aware, getting one along the coast at some of the beach camps is a real challenge. So that we'll find out in the future.
We will.
But in the meantime, let's get out to our campsite.
Some beautiful views.
Oh yeah, the drive's amazing. It takes your mind off the corrugation, so that's always a winner.
It's always a winner.
Another massive river crossing, mate.
No worries.
So we're just coming on to about our 4th water crossing at the moment. They're not very deep and they're easy to get through. I imagine in the wet or when there's been a bit of rain around, you might get a little bit deeper and a little bit more flowing, but all good today. It's actually quite good to do them. It's just adds a little bit more challenge to the drive, doesn't it?
It does. Wow, check that out.
So our first port of call was at the information centre here in the Bungle Bungles. Great little shop, plenty of souvenirs. You can grab yourself a cup of coffee and sit out on the deck. Lots of information about the bungles and some tours that you can do. And of course, if you've ever only bought your parks pass, there's a ticket machine right out the front of the office that you can buy one 24 hours a day. Just in front of me here is Elephant Rock in the Bungle Bungles, and if you have a look you can see an elephant's head. And if you come around a little bit further to the actual lookout you can see too. But I just found as you were coming up the road it was a far better view of the elephant shape, and then when you come up into the car park, and I'll just walk up there, just got to watch out, there's a car coming. But as you come a little bit further around you can see, look, there is through there. And then you'll see another one starts just off to the right of that one. It's pretty spectacular to see, and it's definitely the shape of an elephant. So we're just coming in now for probably our first real view of the domes here in the Bungle Bungles. That is, yeah, they're pretty spectacular to see. But can I just say, just while we're looking at those, how crap this road is. I don't normally worry about what people say on wiki camps, and we come out and we find out for ourselves. But today, I think a lot of people are right. This is a premier national park in Western Australia, what's supposed to be a World Heritage listed, area, and the access in and out of the place is absolutely despicable, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, coming in they said it was going to be corrugated. I didn't think it was too bad. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, but now that we're driving around the park I'm a bit surprised at how rough it is. I mean, I guess when you think it should be, it would be nice nice to be available to everyone, for everyone to come and see and enjoy. So those with two-wheel drives, you know, no way they could come in with their car and drive around, unfortunately. And just for grading the road, it seems quite a simple solution.
It does. We don't understand why it is like it is, but reading comments, they go back a number of years, so it looks like nothing's going to change, and probably doesn't matter how much we whinge about it. We're not going to change anything. But I'll get Al to turn the camera back around, check them out. It's well worth the drive.
We just pulled up in a parking place on the west.
Okay, mate. Starting to take the drive now through the beehives. What do you reckon, Al? It's pretty cool.
It's quite spectacular.
Oh, I've seen nothing like it. We've seen nothing like them before.
Yeah.
We thought that they might have been similar to something we saw in Kings Canyon, but they're nothing like that. Absolutely nothing like that. Certainly something that you need to add on to your trip planner if you're doing a big lap of Australia or you're coming to visit Western Australia. Yeah. Definitely something you need to come and see. We come up to the Piccaninny's, and we're in the Piccaninny's car park at the moment. We're going to go and check those out, and then we're going to take the hike up to Cathedral Gorge. I'm really looking forward to going up and seeing that. Apparently it's a very beautiful part of the Bungle Bungles to come and see. Like we visited Cathedral Gorge about a year ago. Here's another loo with a magnificent view. Check these ones out in the Bungle Bungles. So this is it. You come about 500 metres up from the main track and you come up here into Cathedral Gorge. It's massive. If you've ever been to Cathedral Gorge and you've gone to the amphitheatre, it's sort of about maybe 3 or 4 times the size of that, but I can hear my voice echoing off all the walls around me at the moment. And they reckon if you can sing, it's a great place to come and belt out a few tunes, but you're not going to get anything out of us this afternoon, fortunately for you guys. It's very hard to describe the size of the place. It's enormous. Well, Cathedral Gorge, what do you reckon?
Amazing.
It is. It's a beautiful place to come and see. The walk-in is unbelievable, isn't it?
Oh, everywhere you look, there's something amazing. You're just like, oh my, oh wow.
Yeah, there's definitely no bad angles here, is there?
No bad angles.
Yeah.
It just really takes your breath away. How
It's
beautiful it is.
Definitely. And it's a beautiful place just to come down, maybe grab a spot on a rock, and you can see there are a few of them a bit shiny where people might have just sat and just, you know, sit and just watch or admire the beauty of the place. It's absolutely enormous. There's, yeah, I don't have the words to describe it, but it's certainly something that you need to come and see if you come and visit the Bungle Bungles, that's for sure, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And it was a pretty easy walk in. It said it was a grade 4 walk, but it was pretty easy, wasn't it?
I thought it was easy as, and
Yeah.
I'm not the best walker sometimes.
Yeah, so anyway, we're going to do another one after this, which is only a grade 3 walk, and I think that's the Piccaninny Creek lookout. We're not sure if there's going to be any water in it, but we'll go out and have a look at it because it's a little bit further up the track from where we are now. But if that being a grade 3, should be a lot easier than this, and this was pretty easy. I think most people will be able to get up here without too many difficulties, would they?
Yes, pretty good.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll show you a bit more of Cathedral Gorge and we'll head out to Piccaninny Creek. Just looking up the rock wall here in Cathedral Gorge, and you can see all the grass and things and how it's attached itself to the rock, and it grows out a little bit like a hanging garden. You can see the bushes get bigger in certain areas as you go around. But the black lines that make up the beehives here in the Bungle Bungles is a bacteria which got in there and discoloured the stone. So all of those lines is just the build-up of bacteria over millennia. The lines in the hives here, very distinct. It's good, isn't it?
It just looks like someone's got slabs of it and bloody put some concrete in there, mud fill it.
It does, doesn't
Put
it?
it all together.
Yeah. Because it's so uniform. Check out this dome in front of us here. It looks like it's been cracked straight through the centre. It's just an absolute vertical line straight through. It looks like someone hit it with an axe. So we walked all the way up to the lookout and I forgot to film anything. This is the only footage that I took, but you get a great view of the domes and Piccaninny Creek. Well, good morning everybody. We just spent our first night here in the Bungle Bungles. We're staying in the Walardi Campground. Now, the Walardi Campground is a national parks campground, and when you come to the Bungle Bungles, there's two different national park campgrounds. There's this one, Walardi, which you'll find about, I think it's about 11 or 12 k's south of the Ranger or Information Centre, and the other one is called Kurrajong. And at both ends, there are different things to see. So yesterday afternoon, you would have seen that we went out and we checked out Cathedral Gorge, and we went to the Piccaninny Creek lookout and those sorts of places. And I've got to say, it's absolutely spectacular, particularly when you're walking amongst the domes out in the Bungle Bungles. Today, we're going to go for a drive up to Echidna Gorge, and we're going to check out a number of things when we go up that way. And I'll drop in at Kurrajong and give you a bit of a look around there. But I'll show you around our site and show you where we're set up. Now, we left the caravans back in Kununurra at the showgrounds. We've stored them there because you can't bring, and I think I mentioned this yesterday, but I'll just mention it again if I didn't. You can't bring a dual cab or a dual axle caravan down here. You can bring down like single axles, and there are a couple down here, but mainly camper trailers. We always carry a tent inside the caravan, so we come down and set that up. So here's our site. All right, so as you can see, we've just got our tents set up in here. A little bit of a group area at the back there. Alison, once again, never stops working. I think she's doing someone's payroll at the moment.
That's life. Everyone wants to get paid.
They do. All right, so get that done. I suppose that's the beauty of having Starlink too. We just stick it up on the roof of the car and it seems to work quite well. But it's a nice spot. Down here you won't find too many facilities. There's no access to water or anything like that. There is some non-potable water down here, but there are some toilets that you can use, and they're scattered throughout the campground, which has been quite handy. You do need to obviously pay when you come down. This one's $15 per person per night, so $30 a couple. If you've got a concession, you can save yourself a couple of bucks on that camp fee. And the camp host at this camp, he come around last night, just checked all of our receipts to make sure that we'd paid, and he checked to make sure that we had our National Parks pass for WA. So we've made our way out to Echidna Gorge. We're going to take the walk in. You come to a car park, you'll find picnic areas and toilets when you get here. It's probably located about 30 k's from where we're parked down in Walardi, but we did come past the Kurrajong campgrounds, and we'll pop in and I'll show you those on our way back home this afternoon. First thing you notice when you come into Echidna is the rock formations are very, very different to what we saw around the beehives or the domes yesterday down in that other section of the Bungle Bungles, but you can still see the makings of some of the black lines that come through the rocks here, but not as prominent as what they are on the southern side. So we're going to go for a walk out to here to Echidna Chasm. There's a little yellow sign on here that just says that you need 3 points of contact when you go out, so we'll check that out and see how difficult that is, but it should be pretty right. The track here looks very, very similar to the one that we've done yesterday, in that you go along a main track and then you do some diversions out to the attractions as you walk along. Righto, it's going to be pretty hard to fit in, but we've come up into Echidna Chasm, and when you come to the end and you look backwards, you can see the light starting to come into the chasm now. It's got a time you run right. They reckon the best time to visit here is between about 10 o'clock and midday. It's about 10:30 at the moment, and the light's just starting to pour in, which really lights up the bottom of the chasm when you come in, but it's a great place to come and visit. And just the enormity of it, it's just certainly another thing you have to see if you come and visit the Bungle Bungles. Once you come into the main part of Echidna Chasm, you can continue, just follow through the trail. You'll come to this section, and this is the boulder section where they recommend that you use 3 points of contact to get over. We're not going to go through today. We just spoke to some people who told us that there wasn't too much when they got to the other end. But having said that, when you don't go and see it for yourself, who knows what's up there, but we'll leave it. If you've been up there, hit us up in the comments section It's a beautiful place to come and visit. We're going to head back to the main part of the chasm now and just watch the sun as it floods into the chasm, which you only get to see about once a day. It seems to happen between, they reckon about between 10:30, 12 o'clock. We're not 100% sure because we've been told 1,000 times by about 400 different people. But anyway, it's starting to roll in, so we'll go and check it out. So you have to excuse how bright the sun is at the moment, but the time's about 20 past 11 and the sun's moved right over the top of the chasm now. It's just lit it up in through here, and there's a lot of people starting to come in to check it out. But the first thing you notice is it's really started to warm up in here now because we're copping that direct sunlight, whereas before it was quite cool to sit in here. So the walk out of the chasm is absolutely spectacular once the sun starts to shine through. When we walked through here before, we're just in darkness almost, but yeah, beautiful now. In and out of the chasm is beautiful, particularly when you come into where the creek area is. There's lots of cycads and just a lot of green grass and plenty of palm trees. It's beautiful. And if you have a look up along the cliff walls, and the GoPro won't pick them up, but there's just random palm trees growing just like on little ledges all the way to the tops of the cliffs, which must be 150 metres high. They are huge. So we left the chasm and we've come up to a lookout, which you'll find about 200 or 300 metres from the turn off to the chasm. Don't worry, you'll understand this better if you come out and visit. We come to a place where you overlook over the Osman Ranges. Now, the Osman Ranges are far older than the domes that you see in the Bungle Bungles. They're in fact probably about 4 or 5 times older. They estimate they're about 1,880 to 1,600 million years old, whereas the domes that we saw back in the Bungles was about 350 million years old, and they really only started to form within the last 20 million years, which I know sounds like a long time for all of it, but I suppose in geological terms it's very, very small. But you get a beautiful view, and the other thing you get when you come up here is the real contrast. Even though we're still in the Bungle Bungles area, this area on the northern side doesn't have the domes. It has something a little bit more like, not the same as, but a little bit more like Kings Canyon in the way it's made up, with just those billions of rocks which are just compounded in to make all the ranges that you see around here. But a beautiful place to come and visit. And just like Echidna Chasm, if you come out to here, make sure you come up and you have a look on the lookout, because it is a great woodland and all the ranges ahead of you. Check it out. So that was Echidna Chasm and the Osman Range lookout. We're going to head back to the car now. We'll stop, probably have a bit of lunch here in the picnic area. And then I think we're going to go down to a place called Bloodwoods, which is a little bit further down the road. You can do a walk down there. So now we'll go and check it out. So we come after lunch. We come out to the Bloodwoods, which you'll find about 2.5 k's down the road from Echidna Chasm. We've come to the lookout at the Bloodwoods now. I'll turn the camera around and show you that in a second. One thing I want to point out first, if they had made a straight track, the walk wouldn't be 500 metres. It would be about 40 metres, because you see our car parked here, just there. But the track brings you all the way through here. Then up you come. But nevertheless, when you get out here, it's a beautiful view. And we think, because there's no sign here, that we're looking at the Bloodwoods, but I'll turn the camera around just in case we're not. So this is a view from the other side of the lookout at Blackwood. So just looking out over the tree-covered plains. But yeah, it's such unusual the features here, and the size of them, it's unbelievable. So from the lookout at the Bloodwoods, we decided we'd go for a walk back towards the chasm. We probably won't go all of the way, but the first thing that you notice is how different the country is here, and you don't have to drive too far to see that change. But if you have a look at these rocks that are in front of us now, they have the same black staining on them as you find on the beehives, but just seems to be more expansive, but not in that same uniformity that you see on the domes. And considering we're only 20 k's down the road, it just gives you that real change in the environment around here. In fact, I'd say for the most part, everything south of the ranger station is the domes and that uniformity, and everything north is a completely different terrain, yet it's all the same park. It's amazing to see. Something that's been really good at all the attractions that we've come to since we've been in the Bungle Bungles is all of them have a good sized toilet block. Some of them have multiple toilet blocks, and the other thing that they have is some picnic areas, and they've all got shade cloths over them, like you can see in this one here. They come with picnic tables. Yeah, just really nice places to sit down, shady, cool after you've had your walk, have a little bit of lunch or morning tea or something like that. It's great. We just completed the walk around Stonehenge, and I don't know whether I just had a misconception. I actually thought Stonehenge was going to be a rock formation there, but it's not, is it, Al?
No, it's not.
It was a property that was there in the 20s. Some Texan come over from America and he started a cattle farm out here, a cattle station out here, and he called it Stonehenge. There's no remnants of anything in there anymore. Just a little interesting walking loop. We learned a lot about bush tucker and the local fauna and flora and all that sort of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it was quite good, quite interesting actually.
Wasn't too bad. But the day's really starting to heat up now, so what we're going to do is we're going to drive down. We're going to go for a drive through the other campground, which is located here in the Bungle Bungles, which is called Kurrajong, just to give you a bit of a look at that. We head back into camp for, I think, a well-deserved beer this afternoon, Al.
Stephen has a beer. He didn't bring anything for anyone else.
I've been doing a lot of walking and talking. Right now, let's get down to Kurrajong, check it out. Rightio, so this is Kurrajong. This is the other campground that's here in the Bungle Bungles. This one you'll find to the north of the Rangers station. Initially it looks bigger than where we're currently staying, doesn't it, Al?
It does, based on that diagram we just looked at.
Yeah, and in this one here, and I'll have to now go back and check it at Walardi where we're staying, but here in section 4 or loop 4, you can use a generator if you want to use a generator. That would be the only rule. I can see it's a little bit different at the moment. The thing about this one here, I think, is if you want to go and stay to see Echidna Gorge while you're here and you want to be close to it, this would be your campsite for it, wouldn't it? Echidna Chasm.
Yes.
This would be the campsite for it. But if you're at the other end where we are, at Walardi, then that's where the Bungle Bungles are, and you see all the beehive-shaped domes and that. And I think that's what the Bungle Bungles are famous for, aren't they, Al?
That's what I expected to see everywhere, so I was a bit surprised to see different down this end of the grounds.
Yes, just like I said a little bit earlier, there's a definite contrast in the ranges out here from the northern side to the southern side. But for us, as I said, we're going to stay out 2 days down in Walardi. It's only about a 30k drive up to here to come and see Echidna Chasm and all those sorts of places. So it's not a big stretch to come along and do those. We did initially think about coming and staying at both, didn't we, Al?
Yeah, I think we also were going to stay a little longer as well.
Yeah, but we decided in the end just to base ourselves just at the one place. But this is an example of one of the loop areas. It looks a little bit more compact here than what it does where we are, but all the sites are numbered the same. And there's, of course, some toilets and some picnic tables scattered and lots of trees for shade, which makes it, you know, the nice places to stay. And the fees here are the same as where we are. So $15 per person per night. But if you've got a concession of some description, you can check on the website for that. It's about $12.50, I think it is, per person per night. But yeah, once again, just a nice place to come and stay, sit back and relax of an evening after you've had a big day at the Bungle Bungles. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Ali and I really hope that you enjoyed it. Can I just say, if you're currently travelling Australia or you are planning a trip around Australia, make sure the Bungle Bungles are on your list. They are absolutely amazing, and you will not be disappointed when you go down there to check them out. Come and join us next Saturday, because we're really excited to bring you our Gibb River Road series. We're going to kick it all off at Equestro, but that's not where it starts. It's all going to end in Derby, and we're going to do everything in between. We're even going north to Honeymoon Bay. It's a series of videos that we think you're going to enjoy. We absolutely loved our time out on the Gibb. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you give us a like before you go. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section. And of course, as usual, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so, because it really allows our channel to grow. But until next Saturday at 7 o'clock, you guys have yourselves a great week. We can't wait to see you. We'll see you then. It looks like. Wrong ones out?
Well,
so once again, we found a loo with a view, just like many other places.
Oh my
that we've
gosh.
been to. Alison's
hold my
working
breath.
Which one she's going into.